Hey all, so this is the Beastly Bonds event. This is a Beast Killer event and Earth Slayer. This is my main hitting team. It uses the event ultimate form. However, the self-damage increasing hitting card isn't very good, and I don't have anything better, unfortunately. I also made up a Water Slayer team and an Earth Commander team for testing. I will probably make up a few more teams as the event progresses. See what I can do on those multi-bosses. There is a new level of boss this time around though, so beware. It's got a lot of health. You'll see in the team testing part of the video how much health these bosses have. Anyway, on to the first team. We have Druids of the Feral Heart. This increases Earth Slayer damage by 355%, but that's only when ambushing. Also cleanses all enemy debuffs from all heroes, and that's quite useful for this event. Mute and Power Gem Silence are the enemy skills. Deep Space Drifters, an essential card, a 570% damage buff to the one card, used to boost up Earthen Drakes. This is a mortal killer, so you could use something like High Performance Unit Area with this card, but since the event ultimate form increases attack as well, having two cards that increases attack is not normally effective. Only increases self-damage by 150%, unfortunately. I really could use something better. Gods of Ire. Here's the next card. This one has a very useful Endless Cauldron passive. Cleanses two enemy debuffs at the start of each turn. That makes it really useful for this event. The increase to Earth Slayer damage is 200%. Then finally, the event ultimate form, Realms Exalted Riders. Now this is attack, but it is 2,350%. That is a very nice increase. A delay as well. Plus creates power gems on the passive and on the main attack, so it does have a bit of everything. So we'll just bring up High Performance Unit Area. Without the event ultimate form on the team, this could be quite useful. As a rule, you don't want two cards that increase attack. You only want one at the most, so this wouldn't be that useful. However, this does increase Immortal Killer attack by 2,500% after you've taken a hit, so as I mentioned, without the event ultimate form, this could be potentially useful with this team. Now for the relics, the Celestium bosses do have an extra shield over the prismatic ones, so do make sure you have enough shield breaker relics to cover. I have put 2 on this team and 3 other relics. There's the first one, here's the second one, and the third one here, then the 2 shield breaker relics at the end. There we go. Make sure I have broken all of the shields. Now onto the Water Slayer team. This is a pretty generic team. I tend to use this for pretty much all events. It's my best overall Slayer team, so worth mentioning again, I think. Frozen Hellspawn is the first card. This has a massive amount of upgrading and power gem creation and increases Water Slayer damage by 200%. Holiday Saints, still an essential card, gives the next water hero a 500% damage buff, both Slayer and Commander heroes. Sovereigns of the Dance, this converts, creates power gems and increases self-damage by 300%. This card is really good still. 5 pink stars, 5 times awakened. Wings of Valor increases Water Slayer damage by 330%. Then finally, Leviathan's Hairs. This is an attack boosting card, 1,300%. Then the Commander option at the end. If you are struggling, you can always try a Commander team. You won't get massive damage out of it, but it is an option to try still. Only Executioners is the first card, increases Earth Commander damage by 235%. Leporine Liberators gives the next Earth Commander a 570% damage buff. Used to boost up Brothers in Banditry. This is quite an old card, but still increases self-damage by 300%. Plus 3 pink stars, 5 times awakened. Always nice. Smiths of Refined Fire increases Earth Commander damage by 245%. Then finally, Gods of the Golden Valley, increase of 310%. This is pretty much my worst type of event, if I'm being honest. Once I get a better self-damage increasing Earth Slayer card, it will be a lot easier. Until then, I'm going to really struggle, unfortunately. But those are the teams I have available for this event. Let's get on with the actual event. Here we go. Alright, so here we go with the actual event. There's a new level of boss, as you can see on the screen here. I'm going to give this a go, but I'm not going to lock it, as I don't think my teams can defeat it by myself. Now, a few changes to note about this. They now have 9 shields rather than 8 on the previous level, so you will need that extra relic. I believe the enemy skills are Power Gem, Silence and Mute, so not going to be easy, that's for sure. Right, let's give this a go anyway with my Earth Slayer team and see what happens. Alright, here we go. So this will be difficult, it's fair to say. My damage is only normally around the 1Q mark, so these bosses are really too difficult for my teams. I did the prestige anyway though, just so you can all see what these bosses look like if you have not prestiged already. Not easy bosses. That's actually quite a decent board. About as good as I'm going to get. And the damage is slightly under the 1 big Q, so if I'm going to defeat one of these bosses with my best Earth Slayer team, it's going to take a bit of time, unfortunately. Right, I'll do one more hit and then quit out, see if the Power Gem Silence is counted or not. Power Gem Silence, Mute and a new boss level is going to make this event very difficult for many players, so do beware. So it's been partially removed by the passive. I think it will be fully removed on the next turn, if I'm not mistaken. Let's have a look. There we go. So that makes this team pretty useful for getting rid of the nasty debuffs. Of course, it doesn't mean I'm going to be able to kill these bosses easily still, though. Right, so that's another decent board. I think I'll make that the last hit. Damage is pretty similar to the previous hit. Okay, I'll quit out now. So something a bit easier to test my Water Slayer team out on. This has Mute. So as I mentioned before, Power Gem Silence and Mute. I don't know how much damage the Water Slayer team will do, but this may be useful for some of the lower level multi-bosses, so it's worth a quick test, I think. Right, here we go. So maybe 200 to 300 Q. It might one-shot this boss. This may be an option for prismatic multi-bosses. The new Celestium, I think that's what they're called, bosses. If I get a multi-boss for that, then I'm going to have major problems. I don't think I'll be able to take out more than 1 level at the very most. Let's see the damage on this anyway. Not too bad. It's about half of the damage of my Earth Slayer team. So that makes it a pretty reasonable option. I can't imagine my Earth Commander team will do too much damage, but I think it's another option that's worth trying. I have a prismatic this time around, so let's give this a go. Alright, so here we go. Straightforward left to right team, I think. Let's see if it can do as much damage as my other 2 teams. Probably not, but it's worth a test. It might be a reasonable option for the multi-bosses if the damage is okay. Let's see though. That's not a bad board. One loose power gem in the corner. I'll just do that. Let's see what the damage ends up as. 58.9. That's quite low. I could probably do around 100Q if the board was better. Probably won't use that unless I have no choice. Anyway, that's the teams I have available for this event. It's going to be a very tricky event for many players. I'm struggling even with the event ultimate form, as my hitting card is not very good, unfortunately. Right, there we go. Alright, now I'm going to claim the event rewards. So this time around, it's potions. Now, potions are actually quite useful. You may have seen not all my cards are fully leveled up yet. So I'm not going to complain about this. Some players think this is a bad collection, but I actually think it's one of the better collections. So there we go. That's all of that claimed. What is it this time around? Can't see myself doing well this event, but then again, all players are going to struggle, I think. Right, it's a water warden. So here is the warden. The defender skill is auto heal. That's kind of useful if you have a really strong warden nearer the end of a defense as well. That's where you'd want to put it. Make it a bit tougher to take down if you were going to use this. It's not the best defender skill, but it's alright, I guess. Battle skill increases water hero damage, so that's worth noting as well, in case you feel like using a warden on your team. Right, and let's go over to the ultimates page. I'll claim the support hero, take it up to 6 stars, then see what the event ultimate form looks like in more detail. Right, there we go, that's done. Let's claim the random bonus hero. Right, what are we going to get? Let's find out. Okay, I think that's an older main hero, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, let's scroll up to the event ultimate form. Realms Exalted Riders. So this has a really good increase to attack and a delay, plus creates power gems, plus a passive that creates power gems, plus a passive that heals. So quite a lot of skills on the card, and the attack boost is, I think, one of the highest we've seen so far. So there's quite a lot going for this deck. I know it's attack rather than damage, but attack with multiple damage boosting cards can actually do really good damage. Then if you are going to get the one card, get the card with the attack boost. That should be Lioness of Steel. There we go. That's the attack boost plus the passive that creates power gems, so that has pretty much all of the good skills. And there we go, I think I'm pretty much done with this. I hope you found that interesting and enjoyable. As always, if you do have any questions or suggestions, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to help. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing is always very much appreciated. There's a playlist with all my Legendary Game of Heroes videos on the screen. You can also subscribe from here if you want to do so. And thanks for watching.